Welcome to the Stealthy Crafter. I'm Jessica, and today we are going to do a whip and chat for you guys. If you don't know what WHIP stands for, it stands for Work in Progress. And what you normally do during a whip and chat is that you bring out your own works, or if you want to do chores or just sit around while you listen to me ramble about what's been going on through my week. So let's get started, shall we? Hope you guys are doing okay today. I'm still on Angie and Oliver. I am almost done. I got 2 more rows left after I'm done with this section. So I don't know where I left you guys off because I did miss last week's whip and chat, and I'm so sorry about that. And I'll explain why in just a minute. I have to set up a little bit different today. I'm actually doing this on a Monday night instead of a Monday morning. I've been having a heck of a time trying to record a video as of the last week and today, and I kind of gave up last week for a lot of reasons. So last week I tried to do my whip and chat for you guys, but it just wasn't vibing right. I was all over the place, more so than usual, with how it was going, and when I'm listening to myself, I just wasn't making a cohesive enough thing where it wasn't flowing well. I'm like, okay, scrap that. I'll do it again in the morning, and it just kind of snowballed from there. I just could not seem to get time to get another video up at all during the rest of the week. It was just so much stuff going on, and then of course allergies. You know, where I live, it's definitely spring, or at least spring-ish, and the pollinating, as people like to say down here, has begun, and pretty soon we're going to see just a nice little yellow mist of pollen on everything and everywhere, and it's going to drive me crazy. But I'm trying to take allergy medicine, but like I've said before, allergy meds don't work on me. Luckily, they are working on my kids. They seem to be doing great. I'm jealous, but I'm glad that, they're not miserable at least. But yeah. So, let's see. Where should we start off? I don't know if I want to even try and do the week before because I can't even remember what I've done, everything. But I will start off with, I tried to do the whip and chat, like I said, on that Monday, and it wasn't great. And then Tuesday, I have raid days with my WoW team. I don't remember where we left off there. I do remember last week's, but that week it was kind of everywhere. But then Wednesday, for the first time, I got to babysit. And it's my neighbor's kid. She's 1 year old. And she is adorable. She's tricking me though. I want to have another because of her, and I know that my kids don't have that kind of temperament. My neighbor says that her 2 older kids don't have that temperament either, that this was quite a surprise compared to the other 2. And I'm just like, yeah, I know if I have another kid, they're definitely not going to come out like that. It's going to be a lot more of a headache. I mean, I love my kids. I just know that it was a hard time for me trying to take care of them in the past, and I don't want a repeat of that. I don't know if my sanity can handle that. Cross your fingers. So I got to babysit, and she was adorable. She knows how to walk now, and so what I did was spent most of the day. I was supposed to watch her until 11ish, and then she was going to come home to pick her up. What's going on is she's became a substitute teacher, so she was only going to be subbing for half the day, and instead was asked to sub for the entire day, and then asked if I could watch her kid just a little bit longer, until her husband can come and pick her up. And I'm like, yeah, no, go on, that's okay. Her husband woke up a little late. Whoops. And sorry. and I got to keep her for just a little bit longer until he came by, but oh, I didn't care. She was so adorable. She can be a very serious baby though. Like she has such a serious face going on. We found out that she's not too fond of my husband though. There's times where she's like all smiles with him, and then other times where she's looks like she's afraid of him, and we think it's just because of how tall he is. He is like a giant. He's over 6'8". So I mean, I guess that can be kind of scary to a small little child who's not used to tall people like that. I don't think her own dad's that tall. Like I think he's at the 6 foot range. I don't know. I'm not good at guesstimating at all. As you guys can tell, like whenever I'm trying to do an unboxing, I'm like, oh, that's a lot bigger than I thought. So yeah, I had to do that, and then I remember the next day I was so exhausted. I passed out. And I felt bad because that day was my husband and our first date anniversary, and I felt really bad for sleeping in. I just remember being so exhausted, even though she was such a sweet baby. I just I got up and down a lot more than I'm used to. I sit on my butt a lot more these days compared to when the kids were like teeny tiny. So I was up and down, and chasing her, making sure she's not getting into things. I didn't really baby proof the entire place, but I did make sure to pick up everything that I knew that was going to go into her mouth, or like where she was going to get into trouble, because how infants are at that age. Like they're going to get into everything, or toddlers, I mean. But yeah, I passed out on Thursday. I remember my husband and I dropping the kids off, and then I went right back up to bed and went to sleep. And my husband decided he was going to sleep upstairs as well, so he passed out, and I barely remember his alarm going off so he can start work. And I just turned over and went right back to sleep. I did not wake up until, I want to say, almost 12 o'clock. Shamefully, it was one of those times where I was not feeling it. I just did not want to get up, and I felt bad because we had plans to go out and have a little lunch, because we wanted to celebrate our anniversary. And he told me don't worry about it, and I was a little concerned because we don't celebrate Valentine's Day. We celebrate March 16th. That's our date. And I just felt really bad about it. But I'm going to take a quick sip of coffee. I got my Stars and Moons cup today. And yes, I'm drinking coffee at 9 o'clock at night. I know that's a bad idea, but I kind of need a little extra boost right now. But he told me don't worry about it, and he asked his mom if she could come over during the weekend to watch the kids, so we could do a date night instead. So that was exciting. But that was just, oh my goodness. Was that this week? Or was that last week? My brain is so muddled with everything going on. But man, it was just a lot of work. And then, if I remember correctly, we have testing going on with our kids, school testing. So getting them ready for everything, and then having to make sure that their tablets are charged and ready to go, to get them headphones. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the school requires them to have at least headphones, and I have headphones for their at-home tablets. And I asked the kids, I think Sunday night, how are your headphones? Your headphones are good? And they were like, yeah, we're great. Everything's working perfectly. I asked my son, how's your headphones? Are they working? And I'm like, I noticed he's bringing his home headphones all the way to school and then bringing them back. And I'm like, you know what? I'm buying you a new set for just at school. So I did that. Monday, they show up, and his sister goes, oh, my headphones are starting to act up too. This is his oldest one. And I'm like, are you serious? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, you could have told me that. So I order another headphones. But at the same time, I decided, just in case, let's order one for the youngest as well. Because at this point, who knows? And it was a good thing because she was bringing home her home headphones to school and back as well. And the day where I brought home, I had the headphones all ready for them. The youngest breaks her headphones. So I had to go and buy another set for just at home. And I'm just thinking, my goodness, like, we were doing so well with the headphone thing. And I'm saying the word headphones so much now that it doesn't even sound like a real word. But I was just shocked, like, about how many headphones I had to buy. I think in the course of a week, I bought 4. And when I was only expecting to buy maybe 2. But yeah, hopefully these will keep around for a while, because we're tired of replacing these things. It's been, I think, goodness, like 4 months since we've replaced the last batch. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. At least I hope, guys. But yeah, it's just that we had to do a lot of that, and my sleep schedule's been kind of all messed up with me staying up late to work on diamond painting, and then also playing WoW. I've been doing a lot of catch up on WoW, and then sleeping in late, and then the cycle kind of repeats itself. So I've been trying to fix all that. But I'm also been, like, trying to, like, edit, like, make a new intro, and I'm trying to, like, do a lot of different things, like, trying to fix things up, and way I say things and whatnot. So it's just, like, I've been scrambling trying to figure out what to do for this entire week, and it's been crazy. But yeah, I think I kind of mixed up on 2 weeks, because I said Wednesday I was watching the baby. It was last Wednesday, not the week before, not this Wednesday. So I don't know why I fell asleep on Thursday then, because maybe it was my allergies. Maybe my allergies have been just causing me to be so confused about everything. But Friday, this past Friday, I agreed to watch the baby again. And I was smarter this time around compared to Wednesday, so of the previous week, because on Friday. So this is what I did. My husband did a repeat of what we did the previous time we babysitted. He went to McDonald's and got me a nice coffee, and then he got me some McGriddles. So I was like, yes, this is awesome. She went to sleep for just maybe 30 minutes during that whole time. And then when she woke up, I was eating my thing. I was, like, trying to share some of the food with her to see if she would eat it, because she apparently eats, they do baby-led feeding schedules, and she just snacks all day, according to her mom. So she has a bunch of snacks, a bunch of things. She packed her, like, spaghetti, but I did not, I know this was a faux pas, I did not feed her spaghetti because I didn't have a high chair, and she has aim now. She's learned to throw things, and I really don't really want to have spaghetti in my hair or in my chair, or I remember that stage, and I don't know if, I think about it fondly, but at the same time, I remember my walls being stained red. This was before we even had our walls painted. My walls are now a lovely shade of orange there, but I still don't think I want red marks on it that won't go away. But I was just like, no, I'll feed her something else. And I knew that her mom said she liked yogurt and everything else, so I got her that. We had some more mashed bananas because she was just squishing it everywhere, and I'm like, ugh, it got all over my clothes. I'm like, oh yes, this thing. And we had Cheerios everywhere. It was funny because like she'll come back, and I was like, I tried to go, I'll just vacuum the floor later. It'll be okay. I'll just vacuum the floor. And I realize I'm probably skipping over here. I'm trying to make it as cohesive as I can, but I can't remember all the details of this week, to be honest. But yeah, it was a blast hanging out with her, especially around nap time. Oh my goodness, I was ready this time around. Last time, I did not fall asleep, and I was, like I said, that's why I was so exhausted. Because what happened is, since her mom's now a substitute, she has to be at the school at 6:45, and she drops off her kid at 6:30. Right as I'm getting my kids ready for school. So my husband drops off the kids while I stay home, and then he goes and gets McDonald's for me. But this time I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep. Just at the same time, she zonked out. She goes to sleep quickly, and this is why I meant like how she's an easygoing baby as well. I remember spending so long trying to rock my kids to sleep. I didn't even need to really rock her to sleep. She came up to me with her hands like this, just doing this motion, and wanted me to pick her up. I picked her up. She put her head right on my shoulder and was ready to go. Within minutes, zonked and just snoozing. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go to sleep too. And I did. I went right to sleep. I was ready. I'm like, she got on the couch. I was on my couch. I'm like, we had a good nap. I woke up 30 minutes later, and she was still asleep. She was like in that deep sleep too. So she didn't wake up for a good hour and a half. And I didn't want to have her oversleep. I'm trying to make sure that, we're following a schedule. But according to her mom, she sleeps whenever she wants. So I was still trying to make sure she wasn't like being too cranky, that she was in a good mood when she got to see her mommy again. But yeah, also, this is what I remember about kids at toddlers and stuff like that age. I'm like, so diaper changing. I'm like, she's going around, and all of a sudden I hear the I'm like, uh-oh, no. And then you smell that familiar smell. If you're a parent and you had to change diapers, you know what I mean. And I look at her, I'm like, did you do what I think you did? And she's just like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you're the boss, aren't you? I'm like, okay. And sure enough, it was a really smelly diaper. Oh my goodness. I'm like, yeah, maybe I don't want another one. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I do. She's so cute. I just can't help it. But she was really adorable. And I was so excited to see her again on Saturday as well. So I was like, oh, she's such a cutie pie. So my husband's playing his games in the background, so if you hear any clicky sounds, that might be why. He's trying to be sweet and be as quiet as he can, and I told him don't worry about it. But yeah. Oh, when I did that unboxing last week, I think I'm shaking my table, I'm sorry. When I did that unboxing last week, I had to do it rushed. So what happened was, I know, I skipped a bit. I'm sorry. So, what happened was, when I finished my unboxing, we were expecting pest control. So, we've been expecting pest control for a few weeks now. They haven't told us anything about when they were going to come in. I have ants. I had an ant issue, and when we called them, we still had the issue. We got rid of the ants. For now, until the next invasion. Um, but we called them and they said that they were going to come over at a certain time. They never did, and we're like, this isn't like them. What's going on? And my husband emailed them. They never responded until last week, and they showed up. Was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday. They showed up Thursday, and they said that it was going to be between 8 to 5 o'clock. Well, considering their track record from last time, I was like, okay, I'm going to try and get a recording in and be done. It'll be fine. I let my husband. I waited until my husband was ready for his work, like right before he was going to get ready for work, so we wouldn't be talking over each other. And I finished the entire thing, and I was done cleaning up. And as I was putting all the stuff back in its box, I see the pest control van drive in, and then I go into to talk to my husband. He goes, "Oh yeah, they just called," as I started working, and he couldn't say anything because I was too busy, recording at the time. But it was just like, well, it's a good thing I picked it up, because that would have been embarrassing, like with all my recording equipment and everything strewn about. I'm like, I'm glad I cleaned up really quick. But yeah, the guy came over and I asked him to spray the inside of the house because we've been having a problem with earwigs popping up. I don't know about you guys, but earwigs are so annoying. I'm so tired of it. And my neighbor's having the same issue too. She apparently had the same ant problem. It was all by her stove as well. I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on. Jeez. Well, I do know. We have another batch of construction. This time towards the entrance of our neighborhood. They're building a bunch of townhouses, so we're gonna have another batch of ants again this year. It seems like, until the construction finally dies down or something. I don't know. I was telling our pest control guy our woes about what was going on. And he goes, yeah, it's about that time of the year. I'm like, yeah, we normally have to fight ants all the time. I'm like, I was like, I always kind of go through the same spiel, especially if it's a new person. And then he was telling me that they apparently have stronger, I guess, poison or something like that. Like a stronger formula that they can use. But he'll just look around the house and see if we need it. He was using the normal stuff inside the house. And I was mentioning that there was an anthill. I noticed like little teeny tiny anthills like right near my window by the computer. And I'm like, yeah, there's like 5 or 6 of them. Like there's like tiny anthills. But I know eventually they're going to be huge ones if I don't take care of it. But he said he was going to look around the house, and if he felt like there was a need, he was going to get the stronger stuff. Apparently he felt that there was a need for the stronger stuff because he was like, yeah, I'm getting the stuff. And I took a look outside today, and yeah, there's a couple of big anthills in the backyard. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, maybe we do need that. So he did that, and we haven't seen anything until today. So now we're like seeing like some of the stuff come out, and they're like sluggish, and I'm like, ha 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 ha. I know that's mean. I'm sorry, but at the same time, I was like, get out of my house. I don't want you in there. Get out. You have no use here. Thank goodness it's not the other creepy crawlies, and you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going to knock on wood just in case. We're going to just do that, because I don't want to think about that. I grew up in a house like that. I don't want to go back into a house like that. That's why I keep telling my kids, stop leaving messes everywhere. Which now reminds me, okay, I think this is why I brought this up. So Saturday was a birthday party for the 1-year-old that I've been babysitting. And I was asked to go over there to help out. She needed help like chopping vegetables and stuff like that. Because she invited like her family and everything. So I came there like 40 minutes earlier. I walked over there, and my husband, he always during the weekends gets some sort of phone call about like a website being down, and he has to go and fix it, and it always seems to coincide whenever we have a party. And I'm pretty sure people are thinking like, he just doesn't. Oh my goodness, excuse me. He just doesn't want to join us or anything. And it's like, no, it's just his work's really like that. It's just been really bad timing. But he was able to come over with the kids like right around when the party started, but he felt a little out of place. Like no one was really talking to him. It was mostly my neighbors' relatives, and then it was just me and then a couple of other neighbors. And our other neighbors aren't really sociable towards us. You know, we're sociable towards her, but he was kind of feeling a little out of sorts. So I was just like, because my in-laws were coming over, I'm like, do you want to just go ahead and start straightening up for the house? And he was like, thank you, you know, like that, because he didn't want to. He tried to say hello to people, and people are just like, meh, whatever. I picked out the wrong color, guys. I hate that when that happens. But this is what happened. So I'm at the party. I'm watching the kids. I'm still helping prepping stuff. So like, what happened was I cut like 5 things of strawberries, like 5 cartons of strawberries. I think I started out with 4 cartons before the party. And then during the party, I'm cutting out like additional 2 more cartons of strawberries. Everyone was like going through the strawberries. And then we also had like a chocolate fountain. So while I was there, you know, watching my kids, making sure that they weren't getting into trouble, he was at home cleaning up the house. And I get a text from him going, "Our children are gross." And I was just like, okay. I'm like, yeah, they're kids. What's to be expected? Because we've been getting on to our kids about everything and anything. But after the party was done, and I was like rushing at this point because I had the kids clean up their mess when they were at our neighbors. I'm like, okay, guys, let's make sure that, you know, before we leave, pick up things. And of course, like, you get the kids, oh, do I have to? Yeah, you gotta. And trying to make sure all my drills are in place. Hold on, I'm going to take another sip of coffee. And what happened was, oh my goodness, yeah, there was just a bunch of whining about that. But when I got home, my husband, like, the house looked different. I was like, whoa. It smelled nice too. But let's see, what color do I need next? We're gonna go with this one. But yeah, it smelled nice too. But it was just like, he was talking about like, it's the dining room. It's always a dining room. So we've been having discussions with our kids. When you eat over your plate. When you eat, you know, don't be like, you know, having food drop on the floor. And if it does, pick it up, right? We've been getting on to them about this. And I'm trying vacuum, you know, in between. And our oldest, she always goes, I'm not messy. She's the messiest one out there. So she eats quick compared to her other 2 siblings. She's like, she just, like, you see the food and the food goes. It's gone. You blink and it just disappears. And then she's all like, can I have some more? And I'm like, no, you're going to have to wait until that food actually is in your stomach before you can have another bite. Because she's been so trained by the school to eat so fast, or she's not going to have any food, that she does this at home. And no matter what we tell her, you don't need to eat that fast. She still eats fast. So we make her wait a bit before we let her have anything else, because I just don't want her to overeat. But since she eats so fast, she also leaves crumbs everywhere. And we tell them to clean up your mess. What we've put in place for the last few months is to, once you're done with your stuff, you put your plate in the sink along with your cup. If there's any food on your plate, please dispose it into the trash, and then put everything into the sink. Also, once that's done, go wipe down your mat. Go wipe down what you've ate around the table. Yeah, they just did this. They literally did just wipe off the table and onto the floor underneath them. So my husband was vacuuming and had to clean up their mess, and he was just so mad because, like, I've been trying to clean up after, every now and then, like every other day I'll vacuum around there. And even though I think I vacuumed Thursday, I vacuumed Thursday because I was getting ready for for that pest control guy. It was so messy already by that point. He was mad at them for that. It was just like, when they came home, he put them straight to work. He had them organizing their bookshelves and everything before Nana and Papa showed up. And I didn't really have time to do any sort of freshening up. I was kind of hoping to. So all I did was, like, put my hair up in a ponytail, my normal mom ponytail. And I had to do, like, an emergency, like, nail, not surgery, but, like, I had to, like, redo my nails. So what happens is I normally put, like, a peely type base coat underneath my nails if I have like, this chunky glitter stuff that's going to be hard to get rid of with acetone. I just put a peely base coat so that way it's just easy to pop off. While I was at the party, it popped off. I don't know when, I don't know where. I don't think it was when I was prepping vegetables and stuff, because I remember still seeing it on my nails. It was right around when they were opening up gifts when I just looked down and go, huh, two of my nails didn't have nail polish on them anymore. And I did that selfie look around bit, look around the food and everything where I touched up, didn't see anything. I was like, okay, let's not, I don't want to be gross because ew, like, I was like, that was like, made me all nervous. And I'm like, okay, well, doesn't look like that there's any in the food. And then I go by the sink and I see, like, one of them right by the sink, like, where I was washing my hands. So one of them was right by the sink, and then the other one was in my pocket. I was like, okay. So what I was thinking, what happened was, like, when I washed my hands, when I finished up, I was, like, washing my hands, and I kind of do this motion, and it popped one off, and then I put my hand in my pocket to get my phone, and the other one popped off into my pocket. So, that was kind of nervous, but I had to go and redo my nails really quickly before we left. I literally did my nails. In-laws showed up, said hi to them, said bye to them, and then we went. And we had a really good time. It was like, I think it was like casual dining kind of experience. It was really nice. The only problem was my husband forgot because that weekend was St. Patrick's weekend. We had to go to downtown in this place, and we didn't know that they had a festival going, and there was hardly any parking. It was awful. My husband did eventually find a spot, and then we had to go into the crowd, into the center of the whole festival to get to the market, not market, but to get to the restaurant. And it was really nice. Like I said, it was casual dining, but the menu was a bit pricey, but it was a really good experience. I would like to go again. I don't know about, soon, but, it's something maybe in the future. I think I had lobster gnocchi, and then my husband had sear scallops, and it had candied or jam bacon on it, and it was really good. Everyone was telling us that we made good choices, which I know that as a server you have to, because I used to be a server as well, like a waitress. You just always you made a good choice, but everyone said that apparently the sear scallops was everyone's favorite, and then the lobster was a close second. And I could see why the scallops was a was like everyone's favorite, but I don't think it's like my favorite. It's my second favorite. And the reason was because as good as tasty and delicious as it was, I think you would get tired of the taste real quickly. Like it's too much, I guess. While with that lobster gnocchi, oh my god, it was like just so good. I was in heaven with that one. Oh my goodness. I just ate the leftovers yesterday, so I'm sad. Yes, I did have leftovers. But I ate that like as I made like mac and cheese and air fryer chicken and stuff like that for the kids. And instead of eating the mac and cheese, I ate my leftover gnocchi as my side dish. And the kids were all like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Nothing. That's not for you. Mine." But yeah, I had a really nice day. We also picked up donuts for the kids on the way back. So they had the best day ever! And they seem to be, at least I hope, according to the in-laws, unless they're lying to me, they had a really good time at the, with listening and, behaving. So I'm hoping that that's still is the case. Cross your fingers. I'm trying to think. But yeah, we didn't do a lot more, I think after that. I think what happened after that, like Sunday, we kind of vegged out. The oldest wasn't feeling good. I think it was really a high pollen count during that point. It wasn't really great. I was feeling it too yesterday, but she was just like miserable. And then today, oh man, it was like, so this is why I didn't record today, or earlier today. I had an eye doctor's appointment, and the reason being is I needed to renew my eye stuff, and then so that way I can renew my learner's permit. So I had to go in there and do all that stuff. And since I was there, I was like, well, I want contacts. It's been 12 years since I've had contacts. I'm going to get myself some contacts. And my thought process was, because I'm determined to learn how to drive. I've been still having my learner's permit. And if we're going to get an instructor like we're talking about, like actually go to a driving school, because my husband has been teaching me how to drive, and he's been saying I've been doing a very good job. He also thinks that maybe an instructor can tell me what I could improve on as well. And this place does also, like, they do the testing there, so that way I don't have to wait forever at the DMV, because I don't want to wait forever in a DMV. So I was thinking, well, if I'm going to have an instructor, or I'm going to have, if I even go to the DMV to get tested, I'm going to be wearing glasses. I'm going to be wearing my mask. I don't want my glasses fogging up, and I don't want to be taking my mask off. I'm going to wear contacts. And that's what I decided to do. I got myself a contact fitting as well. And when I came home, I was like, okay, I'm going to do I'm going to get a whip and chat. I'm going to get that done. It's going to be awesome. And what happened was, like, I had such a hard time focusing and putting the drills down. I was trying to talk and put drills down, and I could not see, because they did that dilation stuff on your eyes, and my eyes were just so irritated with that, and then plus contacts, and I took them out. It took me a while to get them out, because I forgot how to. And it was just like, my eyes were like, oh, we're breathing again. So I'm definitely going to be getting some eye drops, so that way I can get used to it. And I thank goodness for flex spending accounts because I'm going to be using that for like my teeth and stuff. But I also used it to get like some actual, so like I get a supply of contacts so that way I'm able to wear them when I'm out and about, get used to it again. Um, but yeah, this morning was just, oh my goodness, my eyes were so irritated. But yeah, I was like trying to place a drill and I'm like, I think that's there. And it was like, so way off. And I was just like, okay, this is clearly not working. We're going to try this all over again when I'm feeling better. But then the kids came home and then I had to get dinner started and then have them showered up and had to wait till everyone was in bed to finally get one started. So here you guys go. um, but yeah, I'm still going to be trying to get this done. I'm so close. Like I figured it's going to be 8 more days. So this is actually today's. I've kind of stopped so that way I could actually finish the rest of my whip and chat for you guys with this square. But then the next squares I have 8 squares left. So I figured I will have this done before the end of March, and I'm so excited. But yeah, so I'm going to probably talk a little bit about WoW before I cut off. I know that this is shorter compared to my other two, but my whip and chats don't normally go that long anyway. They normally are about this length. Besides, I have like way too much things to talk about, and I just don't want to cram it all in one go. But it's just I want to talk a little bit about WoW because I like playing WoW and that's my thing. So on Tuesday we went through. Let's see. If I remember correctly, I think what we did, Monday, they do like Monday nights too. I refuse to do Monday nights because that's my editing night, unless of course we start doing Mythic Plus. Then I'll have to edit that like during or after or in the afternoons, I'll figure it out. But Tuesday night, we finally get to all the way up to the jailer on normal mode. We didn't get jailer down, but we gotten all the way up there, and I was disappointed because the whole way up there I got nothing. I got 0 loot. I was so salty. I was really salty, and my rogue friend, he was getting all the loot. I'm just like, dang it. What is going on? And also, he was, everyone was getting like tiers, so I'm like watching my DPS go lower and lower and lower. And I can't just blame gear, but my score, my item level is so low at the time, and I was just a little salty. So the next day, what I did was I spent some time working on upgrading my legendary rings, which I should have been doing anyway, and then I got them to the max. And then what I did next was just started working on flying around. So I unlocked flying because flying was unlocked this week, and I just flew everywhere because I had a feeling I'm not going to be able to get a tier piece at all, which means I'm going to have to craft one when they open. I think they open up crafting in about five weeks. So we'll see in about a month or two. And I want it to be prepared because you can get you can craft this stuff, but you only can get this looted from the rares plus the treasures in this one area. So I'm preparing myself. But then Thursday night comes around. We start working on the jailer. We did really good progress for the first hour. Decided that we're going to go and work on some heroics. So we went back out of the raid. Started the raid up in heroic mode instead. And we got the first boss down. Nothing drops again. And I'm getting upset. My husband's like, what's going on? And he listens to me when I rant about this. I know I've been ranting a lot, guys. I don't feel like I rant that much normally, but there's been just periods where I just rant a lot in one go. But he had to hear me like go on about the fact that I haven't gotten any weapon drops, that I haven't gotten any teardrops, and then I get a whisper from one of the guys in the guild, and he goes, "I got this mace that dropped. Do you want it?" And I'm just like, "Yes, give me!" But I was just like, "No, we're going to go through the proper channels because I want to play fair." So what I told him was to whisper the person that does all the loot rolls. So, if you get a piece of loot that you don't want, you link it to one of the raid council members. And yeah, I am a raid council member, but I don't take care of the loot. And then they tell people to do a roll. And if you win the loot, you get the loot. So I know that no one else needed it because I'm the only outlaw rogue and he's a monk, and no one else needed maces unless it was on off-spec weapons. So, but I still wanted to go through the proper channels because I didn't want people to be like claiming favors or anything like that. So that happened. I won the mace. I was excited, and then I enchanted the mace. So and equipped it so that way it was bind onto me. We go after the next boss. One of this next boss, nothing drops. Okay, whatever. Then we go to the third boss, and that boss drops another weapon. Like for me, it dropped it for me. And wouldn't you know, that weapon was better than the weapon that I just equipped. It wasn't, I couldn't even put it like on my offhand. No. It was a DPS lost if I put it in my offhand. And it was a higher item level. I was so upset about that because I won a piece of loot and then I immediately upgraded with another piece of loot. And I felt so embarrassed going, could I have another enchant? Because I prepared myself. I bought myself some enchants just in case I ever got something new. And I had to go and ask for another one. And I went, how much do I owe you? And I got some nice guild mates. And they're like, nothing, it's free. I'm like, thank you, And I was telling my Mythic Plus group about it. And they went, that happens. And it does. Because I remember, I think I remember someone like got a new shield. Won a shield. And then the next boss get another shield drop, and it was a lot better. It was just like, well, that kind of sucks. Oh well. But it was still embarrassing. But yeah, that's okay. But I'm doing a lot better. I'm gonna hope that I get something good for my Volt tomorrow. So, or Tuesday. So cross your fingers, guys. Those of you who are still listening to me ramble about my WoW stuff. But I'm going to wrap it up here. Excuse me. I finished my section, so I am done for tonight. I'm excited, and that means I don't have to do anything until tomorrow. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!